At some point in the last 12 months, almost every business owner I speak to has said some version of the same thing. Things were ticking along fine, referrals were coming in, revenue felt stable, and then quietly, without warning, it stopped. Not because the business got worse, and not because the service changed, not because they did anything wrong. The referrals just slowed down. And when they did, there was nothing behind them. No system generating new conversations, no content converting warm audiences into inquiries, no proactive outreach keeping the pipeline moving, just silence where the leads used to be. And here's the part that makes this really uncomfortable. Most of these business owners were busy the entire time it was happening, delivering for existing clients, running the business, showing up on social media, and doing all the things that felt like marketing. But there's a difference between doing marketing and building a pipeline. And in a world where 90% of online content is now AI generated, where algorithms shift monthly, and where organic reach continues to decline, that difference has never cost businesses more than it does right now. This episode is about closing that gap. Welcome to the Digital Success for Business podcast. I'm Leanne Cohens, founder of Marketing Leap, and for over 13 years, I've helped business owners build marketing that actually generates revenue, not just visibility. In this episode, we're tackling something sitting behind almost every conversation I have with business owners right now. A pipeline that has gone quiet and a content strategy that feels exhausting but isn't converting the way it used to. Because here's what's happening. Up to 90% of the online content is now AI generated. Algorithms are shifting monthly, organic reach keeps declining, and that means that the old playbook, post more, show up everywhere, wait for referrals, is failing more businesses than it's helping. So today we're breaking down how to build a pipeline that fills consistently without cold calling, without being pushy, and without producing more content just to stay visible. If the word selling makes you uncomfortable, stay with me. What we're covering has nothing to do with selling the way that you think. And trust me, as a marketer, I love the behind-the-scenes softness of marketing rather than in-your-face old-school sales. It's exactly why this approach works for people like us. So let's start with a distinction most business owners have never been taught. Marketing and pipeline building often feel like the same thing, but they're not. Marketing is everything that builds awareness, trust, and authority over time. That's your podcast, your social content, your website, your SEO. It's the layer that makes people feel like they know you before they ever reach out. A pipeline is different. A pipeline is the specific intentional system that moves someone from aware of you to actively talking to you or buying from you. It has stages, it has triggers, and it has a next step built in at every point. Most SMEs have marketing. Very few have a pipeline. And for years, that gap didn't matter much because referrals quietly filled it. Someone recommended you, they arrived warm, already trusting, already leaning towards yes. You never had to build the bridge yourself. Word of mouth built it for you. But referrals are not a strategy. They're a reward for past work. And rewards are unpredictable by nature because you can't forecast them, schedule them, or control when they show up. Which means the moment referrals slow down, even for a completely ordinary reason, whether it's a quiet season, a shift in your network, a few big projects taking your attention, there is nothing behind them to catch the fall. And that's the referral trap. And here's what makes the referral trap more dangerous now than it was 5 years ago. As I mentioned before, up to 90% of online content is now AI generated or AI assisted, which means that the content strategies that used to work, post consistently, stay visible, let the algorithm do the rest, is competing against a volume of noise that didn't exist even 2 years ago. Algorithms are shifting month to month, not year to year now, and what worked on Instagram in January might barely register by June. Organic reach keeps declining across every single platform, and attention, real human attention, is becoming the scarcest resource in marketing. So business owners are stuck between two failing systems: referrals, which are unpredictable and completely outside their control, and content marketing, which requires more effort than ever to deliver to less reach than it used to. No wonder the pipeline feels unpredictable. Both of the systems most SMEs rely on were never built to be reliable in the first place. So if referrals are unpredictable and content alone isn't converting the way it used to, what actually works? You've got 3 shifts, and none of them require you to become a salesperson. All 3 are things that you can build once and let it run. Shift 1, be visible, where people are actually asking, not just where you're comfortable posting. Your buyers aren't only searching Google anymore. They're asking AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude for recommendations before they've even looked at a website. If your business isn't structured to show up in those answers, you're invisible at the exact moment that someone is deciding who to contact. And this isn't about chasing another platform. It's about making sure that your existing content, your website, your show notes, your service pages, clearly and specifically answer the questions your ideal client is actually asking. Clear and concise beats clever every time. Shift number 2, build one asset that does the qualifying for you. Instead of trying to convert a stranger with a single social post, give them something specific enough to want, whether that's a framework, a checklist, a planner built around one clear problem that you solve. That one asset becomes the bridge, and it attracts the right person, delivers real value immediately, and quietly moves them from curious to genuinely interested, all before you've had a single conversation with them. Shift number 3 is to replace the sales call with a diagnostic. This is the piece that removes the discomfort entirely. Nobody wants to book a call to be sold to. And this is coming from a mother of 2 Gen Z salesmen who learnt their craft in the hardest school of sales there is, door to door. I've had the hours listening to them hone pitches, refine it, get knocked back, and try again. And if there's one thing that all those hours have taught me, it's this. Most people are genuinely open to a conversation where someone looks honestly at what they're doing and tells them where the gaps are. That's not a pitch. That's a diagnosis. And when your entry point is framed as a diagnostic rather than a sales call, the whole dynamic changes. You're not convincing anyone of anything. You're simply showing them what you can already see. So here's where AI actually earns its place in this conversation. None of these 3 shifts that we've covered require you to work more. That is, be visible where people are actually asking, not just where you're comfortable posting. Building one asset that does the qualifying for you and replacing the sales call with a diagnostic. They require you to build once intentionally with the right support. This framework means that AI becomes genuinely useful, not as a replacement for your thinking, but as a collaborator that helps you move faster. For Shift 1, visibility and AI search, you can use AI itself to audit your own gaps. Ask a tool like ChatGPT or Claude to act as your ideal client searching for your service and to walk through what it would need to see to recommend you. That single exercise often reveals exactly where your messaging is too vague or too generic to be picked up. For Shift 2, your one qualifying asset, AI helps you turn what's already in your head into something structured, and it does it fast. You already know the framework you use with your clients. You already know the mistakes that people make before they find you. Talk it through, capture it, and let AI format it into a clear, polished resource in a fraction of the time that it used to take. For Shift number 3, the diagnostic pathway, AI can help you build the structure of the conversation itself. A simple set of questions someone answers before they book. A short automated review that gives them something of value before they've even spoken to you. By the time they're on the call with you, they've already engaged with your thinking. The conversation starts warm, not cold. And here's the part that matters the most. AI should support your strategy. It should never replace it. The businesses that win with this approach are not the ones that are using the most AI tools. They're the ones that are using AI with the cleverest strategy behind it. Bots can create content, but only humans create trust. And trust is still what turns a stranger into a client. So let's bring this all together. Referrals feel safe until they go quiet. Content marketing feels productive until it's competing against a wall of AI-generated noise, and most business owners are stuck cycling between the two, wondering why the pipeline still feels unpredictable despite doing all the right things. This shift isn't more effort, it's a different structure entirely. Be visible where your buyers are actually asking, not just where you're comfortable posting. Build one clear asset that does the qualifying for you before a single conversation happens, and replace the sales call with a diagnostic so that the whole thing feels like a guidance instead of a pitch. And none of that requires you to become someone that you're not. It requires a system that works quietly in the background, built once with the right strategy behind it. Because as I said before, bots can create content, but only humans create trust. And trust is still what turns a stranger into a client. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I know my pipeline needs this, but I don't have the time or the clarity to build it myself, that's exactly what the VIP Strategy Intensive is for. In 4 focused hours, we map your specific pipeline, your visibility gaps, your qualifying asset, and your diagnostic pathway, all built around your business, your voice, and your capability. You walk away with a complete 90-day roadmap and the AI prompts to execute it consistently. So stop guessing and start growing. Head to Marketing Leap to book. The link is in the show notes and the YouTube description below. And if you're an established business, turning over $500,000 or more, and already stretched thin trying to hold your own marketing together, this is exactly the kind of system that we build and run for you inside of our fractional CMO service. So reach out through marketingleap.net and let's have a conversation. Make sure that you're subscribed on your favorite streaming platform so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in the next episode, we're tackling something almost every business owner using AI has felt but doesn't quite know how to fix. Your AI-generated content might sound fine, it might be grammatically correct, it might even be polished, and it sounds exactly like everyone else. So in the next episode, we're covering how to actually use AI in your marketing without losing the one thing that makes people choose you over a competitor, and that's your voice. So if you've ever read something that AI helped you write and thought, that doesn't sound like me, this episode is for you. And if this episode gave you something to think about, share it with another business owner who needs to hear it. The best compliment that you can give this podcast is putting it in front of someone who it might actually help. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Success for Business podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on YouTube for even more tips.